Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Kevin. Well, it's a beautiful morning, but they're predicting more rain coming this afternoon. And we've just had so much rain, we haven't been able to even think about getting our summer garden planted yet. So today we're going to try to get it tilled up this morning. I finally got my tiller back from the dealer. It was being repaired, but it's fixed, it's back. I'm going to get this garden tilled up today, and then we're going to start putting down our woven ground cover. This might be the only nice day we have to do it in a while, so we're hoping to get that done before we get even more rain. First thing we need to do is pick up a bunch of rocks. I tilled this garden once already. It brought a bunch of rocks up to the surface, so we're going to go through it and just try to pick those up, and then I'll come through with the tiller again. It's going to be a busy day. They're predicting rain to start between 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, and so we've got a lot of work to do before then. So come along, we're going to get busy in the garden.
Over here we have a pile of rabbit manure that we've been saving, but over time the weeds have grown like chest high in the circle around this manure. So we've decided rather than just mowing over it, we're going to cut it down and gather it up and give it to the goats. Like we said the other day, the hay is pretty short around here, so we're going to supplement their diet today with all of these weeds. It's a really great mixture of red clover and plantain, some grasses, weeds, there's blackberry bushes starting in there, so it'll be great for them. They're gonna love this. Now I am going to make sure that they have plenty of baking soda in here for them. Sometimes if goats eat a lot of fresh grass all at once, they can get what's called bloat. If you offer baking soda, free choice, they can kind of manage that on their own. The other trick to that is to make sure that before you offer them all of this fresh grass, to make sure they've had plenty of dry hay ahead of time, so they're not so starving that they just binge on all of this. So this morning they've had their hay already, so I'm not very worried about that, but I am going to make sure that they have plenty of baking soda.
For today, we're just going to shovel this manure into the bucket of the tractor and move it over to another pile that we have. And that way we'll be able to use this when we actually transplant our plants. We don't have enough of it to spread it over the entire garden this time, so we're just going to use it as we plant our plants. It'll work out fine.
Well, it's time to get busy now and start tilling up this garden. We've got a lot of work to do. Kevin's on the tractor, busy already, and it's exciting to see this garden unfold. The good news is it looks like the ground is just dry enough for us to be tilling. Any more wet and it'd be super gloppy. I'm so happy that we're finally able to move on to planting this garden. At least to get it tilled up and covered with plastic today would be a huge help. This garden here is about 50 feet by 75 or 80 feet. And the amazing thing about that for me is that our first 2 houses didn't even have backyards that big. And now we have actually 2 gardens that size. Just crazy.
So I've gone over the entire garden 2 times with the tiller. At first, when you're using one of these tillers, you want to leave this back guard up. That will allow it to dig down, and it makes the chunks of dirt bigger. It'll kick out any rocks and things that are in there so you can pull those out. But after it's tilled a couple times, then what you want to do is you want to lower this down. And we'll put it all the way down like this. What that does is it won't allow as much of the dirt to come out. It kind of pushes it back in, and then it grinds it up again. This will give us a nice fluffy kind of dirt that we want. So again, you start with it up and then you end with this down. So we'll go over the entire thing one more time with this down, and then we'll be ready to start putting down our ground cover.
Now the fun begins. We're gonna start rolling out the woven weed fabric that we use. We have really struggled in the past with Back to Eden gardening and the no-till system. And last year we said enough is enough, and we researched an alternative and found this woven weed fabric. We absolutely love it. Last year was the best garden we've ever had in our entire lives. So we are doing this again. We have it rolled down in our spring garden, and now we're gonna roll it down in our summer garden. The nice thing about this woven weed fabric, well, there are lots of nice things, but a couple of them are, number 1, weed suppression. Number 2, even though it's black, it keeps the ground temperature cooler because the fabric is woven. It allows the air to circulate through. It also allows the rain through the fabric, unlike if you were just going to use solid plastic or solid tarps or something like that. We are using 3-foot widths of this woven weed fabric. It does come in lots of other widths. We're also using 6-inch sod stakes, the heavy-duty sod stakes, and we'll be putting them down every 2 to 3 feet to keep it from flipping up in the wind. If you're interested in learning more about this woven weed fabric, you can check it out on growersolution.com. They actually have a 10% off coupon code called Traditionalist10. So check them out if you are interested in learning more. Well, you guys, it looks like we were gonna get rained out. We knew the rain was coming. We thought we could get the whole thing finished. We worked as fast as we could.
Yeah, we got a good 8 or 9 hours in on the garden today, so that was a pretty good day.
Yeah, we're just under halfway done putting down the woven weed fabric, so we'll need to finish that another day. They're calling for some rain tomorrow for sure, but then nice days on Thursday and Friday. So in between all of that, we'll try to get that finished up.
Hopefully in between rain showers tomorrow, we can at least get out here and finish the weed fabric. That would be good, because then Thursday and Friday, when it's supposed to be nice, hopefully we can start getting plants in the ground, because our tomatoes are ready to be out of the greenhouse and in the ground. It's just been way too wet.
Yeah, we are behind schedule, but not severely behind
about
schedule.
a week.
We're about a week behind from, you know, when we would want to be planting, so that's not too terrible. But we definitely need to get this garden planted.
Homesteading is a lot of hard work, but it is so rewarding when you see all of that hard work pay off.
You know, we get a lot of comments when we do these videos of the weed fabric that, gosh, it's just a lot of work to put it down and to take it up. And that, you know, some of you may not want to go through all of that work, but for us to do the work ahead of time rather than having to weed during the hot, humid summer for hours and hours like every week, it's really worth it to do a little bit of sweating and, you know, some hard work ahead of time to benefit from that over the summer. When Kevin and I were working out there, we talked about the weeds and how just big and crazy they get in the middle of the summer, and we were thinking, you know, do the weeds just grow faster and stronger in the summer, or is it the fact that it's just so hot and humid and we don't want to go out there every week or every few days for hours picking weeds? So the weed fabric is really a great alternative, and we do really enjoy the work up front and having to save time and work and sweating our buns off in the summer picking weeds.
So yeah, 2 days in the spring while it's still kind of cool out, and then 2 days in the fall after it's cooled back down to pull up the weed fabric is much more enjoyable than 90 degrees with 90% humidity in the middle of summer. It's enough work just harvesting everything out of your garden in the summer and canning it and preserving it. You know, I don't want to spend any time out there that I don't have to when it comes to picking weeds.
So you guys, thanks so much for working out in the garden with us today. We've got more coming up where that comes from, because we still have a lot of work to do. And all the progress over the summer is really exciting to think that soon enough we're going to be harvesting fresh tomatoes and peppers and all that kind of stuff.
Especially tomatoes and okra.
This year,
and beans.
This
and
year,
cucumbers. And all the other things I like to just stand up there and eat.
This year, we are going to be growing cantaloupe and watermelon within our big summer garden. And we're excited about that because we've never really done that before. So we are going to be harvesting hopefully tons of watermelon cantaloupe and eating that and selling it at the farmer's market.
In the past, we never just kind of set aside the room for that because we had to have our spring plants in the same garden. So now that we have the 2 gardens, it's freed up a lot of space for us to be able to grow more of those things that we've kind of put on the back burner in the past.
Right, so we're excited about that.
So you guys, if you're not a subscriber to our channel yet, I sure would love it if you would hit that subscribe button before you leave. If you know somebody else who's into gardening or homesteading, raising animals, or just enjoys seeing where their food comes from, go ahead and share this on all of your social media. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.